Hey all, John here from Second Chance Composting. How you doing today? Please like and subscribe to our videos. Secondchancecomposting.com is our website. So today we have a full trailer load of food scraps. We were supposed to get our cement blocks delivered today, but the guy's sick, so we're not able to do that. So my plan was to get those in and then tip into our new area and then be able to mix it up against the blocks. However, because he's not going to be here, I can't leave this sitting, so I have to tip it. So what I've done is I put some wood chips down. I'm going to back in. You can see the gravel stops. I'm going to back a little bit further and try to tip it right there without getting stuck. It rained a lot yesterday. I just came over this with a tractor a few times. It's not too soft, so I should be able to make it happen. So I'm going to tip that. I'll move the truck forward after that, hopefully go right ahead, and then I'm going to mix it with some wood chips, and actually that's where I'm going to leave the pile for now because it's a brand new pile. Our other piles over there, we built that for about a month. I turned it the other day, so that one's set. I just have to regularly turn it. So now I'm building a new one. So let me rake this out a little bit, give myself a good landing zone. I'll back it in, I'll tip it, and then I'll cover it, mix it, and I'll cap it. Here we go. Please like and subscribe. Well, I guess my name's getting out there because I'm up here and it's a, somewhat well-traveled road right there. And I keep getting people beeping when they go by that know me, but I don't recognize the car. That just happened. So um, that bodes well for how well I'm doing in the community. So somebody just went by and beeped that they knew me. Not sure who it was. I missed it, but I'm going to spread this out. Oh, the other thing I want to say, it's actually pretty nice today. It's really sunny out. It's not overly warm, but it's not really cold. Um, little, little tiny wind in the air, but a very, very nice day to be out working. So I don't have too long today, so I'm going to get this done. So now I have a nice carbon layer to dump onto. And again, this isn't ideal. I kind of worked it out so that we did our pickups yesterday and I left the trailer overnight so that I could come up today, get the blocks in, and then tip into the blocks. But because he can't come today, again, I can't leave the food scrap sitting any longer. So I'm kind of just having to do this out of necessity. Not the greatest way to do it. You need some sort of blocks or stoppage wall to dump into. Um, but due to the situation, this is what we gotta do right now. So here we go. The last couple days I had a huge triaxle full of yards upon yards of compost brought up here of my own stuff. I had to move it from one place to the next. So that really tested out the gravel, because I'm not going to really bring up anything heavier than that. And the gravel was good. We had a big rain, so there's some ruts, but he didn't get it even remotely stuck. So now I'm kind of testing it out here. There's a little dip that I'll have to fill in, but I'm going to come back and hopefully we're good to go. I think that's about as perfect as I'm going to get. I'll tip it now. Look at that, everything on the wood chip. All right, here we go. Definitely could have made the tipping area a little wider, but for the most part that worked. That's everything. Came out. I'm just gonna clean the end of the tailgate. Check this out. Warming up. About time. Long winter. I'm gonna go all the way up. Quickly shovel it out. Finally warm enough to take off my sweater. So, as you know, if you've seen other videos, I have a rinsing system out of the back of my truck, which usually when I tip, I just pressure wash it after. So this isn't the best system either to clean it or to get the rest of it out. But yesterday was our pickup day, and after I take all the rinsing equipment out of the truck and get it ready, we still have some freezing nights, so I have to get it winterized. So I didn't leave any of that in there. So I just scooped it out for now. I'm gonna be loading more gravel and wood chips, so it's not a big deal. I wouldn't want to leave it sitting there in the summer, but because I'm getting other material, it's all fine. So here we go. I'm gonna move the truck, and then I'll get on the tractor. Gotta get contamination out of there. So that was an entire trailer load of wood chips and leaves that I had sitting there. I did use a lot of it, almost all of it. So you can see how much carbon you need. Um, what I'm gonna do now is just tamper it down with a bucket, smush it down, make sure it's nice and compacted, and then do another little talk. So what I did there is I smushed it down, and I saw a couple other spots where there was a little bit of food you could see. So I added a little bit more on top. So now I'm gonna do kind of a new thing. I do this after I turn the plows, but I think it's a good idea to do it now too. I'm gonna drive around the sides to pack it down with the wheels on the sides around it. So here we go. So another thing to note is that I try to make sure I get the back tire on there because it's much heavier. It'll squish down a little bit. And this carbon is all from last year, so it's been sitting, so it's not that fresh, which is fine. But with that, it's been sitting over the winter, and one of them was a big pile of leaves. And one of the problems with leaves in the winter, they had a really snowy, icy, cold winter. They're just big globs of leaves, so which don't really mix in that well. So running it over at the end and tampering it down with the bucket helps. As you can see, there's one floating over here. Doesn't look like much, but that's a lot of leaves in one big section. So that's that. There's the finished product. Now, it's not perfect by any means. This is not the ideal way of doing it. Not having the blocks has made it hard to make sure I can do this the right way. So this is not the, let me say, correct way of doing it. Hang on one second, let me put you back here. Not the correct way, but because I'm gonna be up here a lot, especially I'm gonna be up here tomorrow. I'm still trying to figure out spacing and things like that. I didn't want to move it. I didn't want to have to use the tractor to move all the food scraps somewhere further. So I could just dump them there, mix with the wood chips that were right there, wood chips and leaves, and I can leave that for a day or two. Really, as long as the birds don't find it, it's fine. So, but I will eventually move it pretty quickly. It's not staying there. So when I do move it, it will mix the carbon in there much better, and then I can cap it again. So again, not the most ideal way of doing it. You really want to mix it first, which I would have done if I had the blocks. And if you mix it first, then when you pile it, the capping layer is not as heavy duty because you already have a bunch of carbon in there. So that's that. I'm going to let you go on this one. It's a long one. I got other things I got to do here. So I'll have a couple big videos coming up about sifting compost and screening compost, sifting or screening, whatever you want to call it. But that's that. I got to get to work, do some other stuff. But that's building a pile, tipping, building a pile without cement blocks. Happy composting, everybody. SecondChanceComposting.com. Please like and subscribe. Take care.